Guys, happy Wednesday night. Hopefully you are all ready to focus and learn some information. I think this is going to be really great to go off of what you guys learned from Melanie in her webinar about challenge groups, because you can make things a lot easier on yourself if you kind of keep things organized the way that Melanie does. I was listening to that webinar and I'm like, wow, that is just such a great idea to do this and do that. And I do have a template for what I do with my challenge groups, but after listening to what she does, I'm like, I need to go back and revamp some stuff. So if you have something like that, you're always going to be changing it. I made this probably back when Mindy did her last 60 days to diamond, and we had been talking about it. So, you're going to want to be updating things. But, and when I put mine together, I'll put it in the group for you guys to use as well as Mindy's, so you guys can see some different styles and everything like that. But today, we are taking it to the next level. We're taking those customers and grooming them into coaches. Exciting, right? Okay. So, wouldn't you like it if more of your customers became coaches? You better all be saying yes. More of your coaches fully believed in Beachbody and the programs and products from the get-go. And that more of your coaches prepare themselves to hit the ground running from the beginning. Duh, you should be saying yes to every single one of those. And, about a year ago, I really started focusing on these fundamentals. And luckily, I was able to talk about it at Summit with David Ingram and learn how he does it and kind of combine it with how I do it as well. So you guys are going to get some good tips in here. Okay, the first thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned to you guys. So when you're thinking about your customers, think about a banana. We all eat bananas, or most people eat bananas. And when you get a banana, it's really green, right? It's very unripe. And then as it progresses through the days, it gets more and more ripe. And the more ripe that it is, the better it is for you. And I want you to think of your customers that way. I know when we meet someone who seems perfect and they're talking to you about the challenge group and you're like, why don't you just sign up as a coach? Hold your horses on that, okay? When you're talking to these people about challenge groups, you want to make sure that they are ready before you mention coaching. Because what can happen is if you mention it when you think that they are, you guys can't see my finger, but I'm pointing to the riper banana, but to them, they feel like they are unripe, they're not ready, you could scare them away. I had a customer of mine who, from the beginning, she had bought several programs and products, and I thought, wow, she has all these programs and products, she would be a great coach. But through asking her questions and getting to know her before she joined my challenge group, I thought, we got to work on some things. We got to work on some confidence in herself and the belief in the company and that sort of thing before she's going to really be able to hit the ground running with coaching. So I held off, and then within 2 weeks of the challenge group, she actually came to me and asked me about signing up as a coach, which was awesome, and now she's doing great things with the business. She's fully committed, just sold a crazy amount of 21-day fix challenge packs. And from seeing how she developed, it really made me focus on looking at my customers as an unripe or a ripe banana. When you bite into, if you saw me at Summit, if you bite into an unripe banana, you get that like really gross taste in your mouth and you're just like, oh, this is the grossest thing ever. But then a ripe banana, you're like, I can make, Shakeology pudding. I can make banana ice cream with this. I can put it in my Shakeology and it's going to taste great and, all that stuff. So think about it like that. I'm not weird, I promise you guys. No, I'm a little weird. Okay, so the who and the why. Who are your customers? Are they a strong prospect? Is it someone who already is very into fitness and nutrition? Is, you see some of their posts on Facebook and they're talking about health and fitness, or getting their booty kicked in one of the workouts? Are they, commenting back and forth with their friends, and have a strong presence on social media? That's important. Is it someone who, they've done a challenge group with you and they're starting to get into the groove, or is it someone who is just brand new? They might be into fitness and nutrition, but they have no idea about Beachbody, and they're just hopping in a challenge group with you because they saw that 21 Day Fix was out. Okay, that's going to be a weak prospect because they may already be into fitness and nutrition, but you want to help them develop that belief in the company and in the programs and products before they sign up as a coach, because you want that person to be very confident when they sign up. You don't want them to be already questioning, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. How do I groom customers into coaches? Okay, these are the things that I'm going to go over real quick in the next slides with you guys. Building the initial relationship with them, teaching them the coaching fundamentals, and building their beliefs, and the belief in themselves, the belief in you, the belief in the company. Okay, so building the relationship. I want you guys to make sure that you know what that person's goals are first and foremost. When I do my messages for challenge groups, one of the very first initial question that I ask is, so what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish through these 30 days or however long your challenge group is? What do you struggle with? Get down to, that really deep-rooted why. Just like we are coaches, we have that deep-rooted why, the why that makes you cry. Customers, they have to have that to be able to stick through this process, because losing weight is not easy. If it was easy, I would be out of a job. You guys would be out of a job. Everyone would be perfectly fit and healthy and everything, but it's not easy. I look at my fiance and I and us trying to lose the weight for our wedding and for the cruise coming up and just the crazy year that we have ahead of us. And, it's you really got to have something deep. You've got to have something deep to keep you on track. And we talk about it all the time, and we both have our deep-rooted whys right now. On my birthday yesterday, I had, instead of having a birthday cake, I made chocolate pudding out of Shakeology, and it was dairy-free and everything, and I had my cake on Saturday. Don't worry, I'm not that big of a freak, but I knew that I didn't want to overindulge and throw myself off from my goals, so I stuck to that. So make sure you're understanding their goals. Make sure that you are making recommendations off of different programs based on those goals. If it's someone who has knee problems, you're not going to recommend that they do Insanity or P90X. You're going to think of a program that's going to be a little easier on their knees. You have to be encouraging them in your messages. Always using smiley faces and exclamation points. Don't ever use caps. That scares people away. I know I have their goals, but I want that to stand out to you guys. So make sure that your messages sound positive, enthusiastic, and are really encouraging them. And also in the group, you have to be doing that as well. And you've got to make sure that you are responsive to their needs and questions. Now, I'm going to get into this a little more further on, but you don't have to be a coach 24/7, okay? I see a lot of my new coaches create their Facebook groups or their support groups or challenge groups, whatever you want to call it, and they run their first one and they're like, Meg, how do you keep up with this? Like, how do you keep on with everyone? Okay, guys, you do not have to be in that group all day 24/7. You need to give yourself specific times that you're going to check in. For me, I check in the morning, like when I first wake up and I'm drinking my water. I don't drink coffee, maybe some tea. So I check in the morning, I check in the afternoon, and then I check in at nighttime before I go to bed, and just am positive and commenting on the people's posts in there and answering their questions and liking whatever they had posted, that sort of thing. And that should not take that much time at all. Okay, teaching them the coaching fundamentals. Okay, you've got to help these people achieve their goals in this challenge group. I mean, they have you. They have the program, they have Shakeology, hopefully, they have the meal plan. They have everything that they need to be successful, but they have to have all of those put together, and they have to have you pushing them. So not in a crazy pushing way, but just keeping them on track and making sure that they're sending you their weekly measurements, making sure that they take progress pictures at the beginning and at the end, and they're measuring and they're weighing themselves, and they're on track. You also want to make sure that you're being a positive role model and person in their life, because a lot of my challengers, I'm like the one person in their life that really believes that they can do this. They say, I've tried to lose weight in the past, and I've failed, and no one really believes that I can do this, and they have that belief that they can't do it. And you have to instill in them that they can do this. They can do this, especially with you behind them. Okay, and they also need to see you posting in the group just like you are a challenger. They say monkey see, monkey do. I usually participate in my challenge groups, and I say, whatever workout I did that day, I post a funny picture or a video or something like that in that challenge group, just to keep them motivated, because they're going to feel a little more comfortable when they see that you're being vulnerable. If I fall off track on the weekend, of course I'm going to share it with them. Of course, on Saturdays and Sundays, I always have them rank their or how they did on Friday night and Saturday night, and I say, scale of 1 to 10, how did you do? I had a piece of cake last Saturday that hurt my stomach immensely, but it was so worth it. Or I was totally on track, or whatever. I'm totally honest with them, so that they can see that I am being, or what was that quote I put up, that I'm doing what I'm saying I'm doing, pretty much. I also help them see that in order to be successful in the group, they've got to support each other. In that initial message, when they first sign up, I say, these are the things that you need to do. And one of the things I say is, you have to give support to get the support. You need to be commenting on each other's posts and encouraging each other and motivating each other and that sort of thing in order to make this group work. And they do. If you set that bar at the beginning, they're going to do it. Building their beliefs. Like I said, a lot of people don't believe in themselves at the beginning. When I first started losing my 30 pounds back right after I graduated from college, I didn't believe in myself. I had just gotten out of a terrible relationship where, he was bringing me down all the time. So my belief in myself was so low, so low. And I have amazing parents. I have an amazing family. I have amazing friends. And what they were saying, they were being positive, but for some reason I wasn't hearing it. And then it took Janelle Summers coming into my life to really hit home with me. She was my coach, and she was there from the beginning when I first started losing weight, and she was there to support me, and she built those beliefs back in me that I knew I had. My mom always says, Megan, I built that self-esteem and that confidence in you as a child. And for a while it disappeared. And I don't know if you guys can relate or not, but, it's sad to see that. But you've got to help instill that confidence back in them. They've got to believe that they can achieve their goals and that you believe in them, okay? They need you to believe in them and tell them that you're there and that you're going to help them get their results. Okay, you've got to establish one-on-one communication. Okay, like I said before, you do not have to be a coach 24/7. Okay, this took me a long time to realize, and after I went to the Franklin Covey training last February. Oh my God, it's been a whole year. But I remember coming home to he wasn't my fiance at that time, but I said, I need you to stay on me and tell me, when we're together and I'm not working, I can't have my phone going off and I can't be responding. Because as the way that our business is set up, it gets addicting. It gets addicting, and we think, especially with the 21-day fix yesterday, oh my gosh, I did have to turn my phone off because I'm like, okay, this is not that urgent that, they can't order tomorrow and it's 9 o'clock at night and I should be, getting ready for bed or whatever. So, make sure you're setting those hours. and you have those priorities laid out for your family time, your friends, your personal development, and then the business. And you better not be answering your phone while you're doing personal development or being with your family or whatever. So tell them, hey, my hours are usually from this time to this time. If you don't hear from me, I'm not ignoring you. It just means that I'm with my family, or I'm working out or something like that. If you set that from the get-go, they're going to expect that. Okay, they're going to say, okay, I know that she is not going to get this message till the next day, but that's totally okay. If they see you in the group all the time, all day, every day, and then you have one day when you cannot check in and you have not set up that one-on-one communication with them and told them, hey, I have specific hours, they might expect you to be in there, and they might be like, what the heck, where is she? She's not being very supportive, and you don't want that. I'm not saying that anyone will do that, but just, set it from the beginning. Give them the tools and teach them the habits of a successful coach. Give them their deep-rooted goal from the get-go. Ask them questions, what's really motivating you to do this? How will you feel when you accomplish your goal? How long are you willing to work to achieve this goal? If you get discouraged along the way and go quiet, how would you like me to respond? Should I contact you or give you space? I remember watching the webinar with Scotty, and I thought it was really cool that he was honest and said, sometimes I have rocking groups. Sometimes I have very quiet groups. That is normal. Okay, I have coaches of mine that come to me and they're like, what do I do when, this person stops responding in the group? Like, what do I do? Or, no one's responding or whatever. That's why this first initial question, you message them and you ask them those questions before you start that challenge group. And when you ask them, if you get discouraged or go quiet, what do you want me to do? Because some people are the type that they don't want you to message them. They need their time and they'll come back. There's others that, they just might get distracted and they forget to post in there, and they want you to grab them and say, hey, remember, we should be checking in every single day. And this applies to, coaching groups as well, like the Star Diamond group or things like that you need to be, going back and making sure that your coaches are checking in daily. Okay, create the safe environment. I love the environment that support groups or challenge groups or test groups, whatever you want to call it. I love the environment that it brings. Okay, so this has been 2 years since they've been doing challenge groups, and I think it's one of the best parts of coaching because you get to see these people change, you get to learn about them, you get to see everything in this group. They get to build relationships. I think it's really cool that a lot of them have become coaches, but my challengers become buddies because I let my customers, say it's someone who bought a program or product and then they want to hop into my next group. Absolutely. I let them in there. Absolutely. Because I want them, if they need more than 30 days, I want to be there for them. If they like that safe environment, I want them to be a part of it. So your support group, your group is a safe environment for them. They can share with you what's going right and what's going wrong, or the struggles, or the damn scale goes up, or whatever. They can't share that with a lot of people. Weight issues are not very easy to talk about, especially with people who are not in that mindset of fitness and nutrition and becoming healthy. A lot of people will just say, you're being crazy. I have conversations with my mom about this all the time. She's like, now you can just have a piece of cake or do something. And I'm like, Mom, I don't live that type of lifestyle. And don't get me wrong, I eat sweets probably more than I should, but you get what I'm saying. Give them assignments. Okay, so you want to post something at the beginning. This is just an idea. At the beginning of your group, I did this in my last one, and I did a VIP nutrition and fitness group with my coach Liz Davis, who I absolutely love. And she has her background in fitness, and I have my background or exercise, and I have my background in nutrition. So we did a group together. At the beginning, I said, if you post one time per week about our group on your page. So you tag us in it. You say, either an updated weight that you've had, or something about the group that's working, or just whatever, a Facebook status, and tag us in it. You get 1 point. And at the end of the 4 weeks, we're gonna put everyone's names into a basket, and say you did it 4 times through the 4 weeks. You get 4 names in the basket. If you did it once, you get 1. And I'm gonna draw 1 name, and that person's gonna get a prize. And it was awesome. It was really cool to see their updates and have them tag you. And it gets more people from your profile page and your friends seeing those posts. And then they get curious, like, what is this group that they're talking about? So it's a good way to advertise for yourself as well. Another thing to do is to say something towards, I would say, week 3 or week 4, and say, hey, you guys are doing so amazing. I love the transformation that's going on with each and every one of you. I have an assignment for you guys today. I want you to sit down and think about 2 or 3 people who you would think would benefit from a group like this. And usually people, and then I say, if you know 2 or 3 people, comment below yes or no. And usually it's all yeses. And then you can take it to the next level and message them and just say, I love that you could really see some friends that would do well with this. I have a group coming up either. And then that's when you bring up, I know Scotty and Melanie, and I think Lindsay have probably talked about this before, but I think on a national coach call they talked about this. But that's when you say to them, I think that you would be a great coach. This has to be someone that you see the coaching potential in, okay? And you say, I think that you would be a great coach, and you can have those people sign up under you, and they can buy the challenge packs from you, and you get some quick commission, and then I'll run the group with you, and then that next month their customers are in the group with you, and they're like the intern coach helping you in the group. I think that's great. I've done it before. It's a great way to get your coach getting commission right off the bat and give them that confidence that you've already been instilling the other couple weeks, right? There's nothing like having a coach get some commission within the first week or 2, because it gets addicting. It does. Okay, check in on the ones who go quiet, and like I said, however they told you to approach them. Okay, moving from customer to coach. So basically, when you have those customers and you're building that relationship and that belief in the business, the company, so Beachbody, and how the programs and products work. So you're building that belief through them getting those results. They're building the belief in you because they're seeing that you're keeping them on track, you're staying engaged with them, you really do care about who they are, and then you're building the belief in who they are as a person, so they feel more confident. So when you're doing that, you are building that throughout the 3 weeks. Then you want to reach out to the ones who are actively engaging in that group, because sometimes you do have, say you have 6 people in a group, you might have 2 or 3 that don't respond, and that's normal, okay? It's completely normal. They usually come back around a month or 2 later and want to get into another group, or at least that's what I've seen, and then they're really active in that. Ask the active ones to be a cheerleader with you. Say, I can see how well you've been doing in this group, and you're really doing a great job of motivating, and I'm kind of struggling trying to keep up with everyone. I would love if you could help me. And that builds that confidence even more in that person. That person's like, oh, okay, she believes that I can do this. That's so cool. Week 3 and 4 mentioned, have you ever considered? So that's when you reach out to those people who are actively engaging and say, I have been watching you. You're being a great cheerleader. You're doing awesome. Have you ever considered becoming a coach? You want to also address, because usually that person will say something like, oh, I've never really thought about it. I don't think I'd be very good at it. Or they'll say, yeah, I have thought about it, but, I just don't think I could ever do that, or whatever. Address their concerns and share what you thought about coaching before you signed up. Okay, when I first signed up in 2009 with Janelle, I was like, hey, I'm 30 pounds overweight. I don't feel good about myself. There's no way that I could inspire other people. That's what my belief was. And then through, her helping me, and it wasn't really a challenge group, it was more on one-on-one helping me, I built that belief. So you can just share with them, I wasn't confident in myself or being able to inspire people. And then I noticed that, coaches come in all different shapes and sizes, and it really is about the relationship that you build with that person, and blah blah blah. You guys know, you guys are in this level, you know what I'm talking about. Find out how they want to hear about coaching. So there's webinars, there's calls, there's just quick coaching information, like bulleted information that you can copy and paste. You can get on the phone with them, whatever that person feels comfortable with, and then give them a chance to hop in a free 1-week internship with you. I don't know if you guys have seen me post it. We just started it this year. One of my coaches, Leanne Miser, came up with the idea, and it's been great. It's been working very well for my coaches. And basically what it is you advertise for a 1-week free internship group. So for people who are in your challenge groups, people who are just on your page. So it's just kind of like a challenge group post that you would be advertising. And what you do is you give them a little bit of a glance into what coaching is. So, I have them listen to a couple different national coach calls. I have them post on their page about fitness, just kind of like a coach would do. I have them reach out to a friend and just say, start that initial conversation, someone who they know has wanted to lose weight. And I'm just building even further those basic things that coaches do in that person. Oh, and that was my last slide. But basically, everything that you do from the beginning of that challenge, from the beginning of initially talking to that person about the challenge group, finding out what their goals are, what their challenges are, what their belief in themselves is, all the way through to week 4, however long your challenge group is. And at that point where you can say, you're ready to become a coach, you will see that the people that you focus on these little things with are going to hit the ground running, because they know already how to run a challenge group. Hopefully you guys are creating templates for challenge groups for yourself, so that you can give it to your coaches or customers, or you're using Mindy's. Make it your own though, okay? Make it sound like you, and don't just copy and paste, okay? Make it you. And because people can tell, they can totally tell. But everything that you're doing, you will see coaches come in stronger into your business. And think back to that banana. If you would have asked that person week 1 about coaching, they may have ran the other way and stopped posting in your group because they think, oh my gosh, this person is just trying to sell me on this coaching thing. And then by week 4, they understand who you are. They understand what your goals are and that you truly believe in them. So at week 4, they believe in you. They have that trust, and they are willing to try out coaching with you. Okay, hopefully you guys got some good tips from this. And I guess, let's see, it's Wednesday night. After you watch this, just post in the Facebook group and let us know what you think about the webinar. Hopefully it's all good stuff. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for spending your Wednesday night with me, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.